So here is the man from Chinese Taipei, Po-Wei, the 24-year-old, making his way to the boxing ring for his second appearance at an AIBA World Championships. His opponent is Brazil's Ronaldo da Silva. What a wonderful moment for him. Man who's competed on the continental stage, approaching the ring for his first World Championship appearance. 25-year-old, the reigning national champion of his homeland. Here competing on the global stage in Belgrade 2021. So a final equipment check being conducted by the referee. Sadie Duffy of Ireland with the final instructions. So we're underway then, 51-kilogram flyweight action between boxers from Chinese Taipei and Brazil. The taller figure wearing red, looking to establish that long lead left hand, is Po-Wei, competing here at his second World Championships, having made it through to the second preliminary round in Yekaterinburg 2 years ago in the 52-kilogram division. Took the outstanding Armit to eliminate him, and he also had a win over David Halaverdian in the first preliminary round. The man from Israel, the man who was born in Russia, represents Israel, gives you an idea as to his caliber. The more compact figure wearing blue and those fluorescent pink boots that would illuminate a dark night. Such is the glow emanating from them. That's Ronaldo da Silva, 2019 Pan Am Games quarter-finalist in Lima, reigning national champion of Brazil after 6 podium finishes before that. So persistence paying off for the 25-year-old. Soldier in the Brazilian army, part of a 10-strong Brazilian boxing squad. It's the same number who make up the Chinese Taipei team. And again, given the difference in stature, the mission for da Silva is clear: to try and get inside the longer reach. Da Silva reluctant to step back, because if he did step back too far, he just got more distance to close on the resumption. See him trying to get on the front foot and inside the long arms. Here he's having success during the tangle and scoring with that left hand. Both boxers keeping their heads out of harm's way. Remember, head guards came off on the global stage in the 2013 World Championships in Kazakhstan. So clear instructions from the Irish referee to da Silva to keep his head up. Scores with a spearing right hand there after he closed the distance with a big stride. Coming in between high-held gloves and looking to box Po-Wei through the ropes. Well, his head went between the strands there, Po-Wei, and while his head was on the other side of the ropes, his body was an open target. And da Silva went to work looking to score with both lefts and rights. Beautiful reverse 1-2, and again, the backhand coming through first, followed by a left jab, and da Silva really finding his range over the previous 40 seconds or so, deep into this opening round. So bustling away to the body. And as the round has progressed, da Silva has got himself into the stanza with terrific effect. Really has found the range, got beyond this type of territory where they were feinting to conclude the round, and had real success at mid and short range. A couple of reverse 1-2s in the closing 30 seconds. Was one moment of inconvenience for Po-Wei where his head went between the ropes. And that is why De Silva has swept it across the board. All 5 judges scoring 10-9 in his favor at the conclusion of that first 3-minute frame. So some of the action then from the opening round. Po-Wei with plenty of dynamism. In the early part of the round, he was able to keep the fight at his preferred distance. But then as the round progressed, De Silva had success, and this is where his head went between the ropes. And while he was inconvenienced, referee came to his aid and issued the command of stop. But it just allowed De Silva the opportunity to work away. So into the second round then. Plenty of experience, as well as his appearance in 2019 at the World Champs. Plenty of experience on the continental stage as De Silva, this more compact boxer, scoring with left jabs that came in quick succession, working well to the body with straight punches. He's looking very relaxed now, is Ronaldo De Silva. Po-Wei, there's plenty of activity, and there by doubling up the attack, you see the second phase got through. The first 1-2 was short of the distance, but he kept the attack going to his credit, and then the second attack was far more successful in terms of landing leather on target. So minute gone in this second round. Po-Wei desperately trying to establish his lead left hand, but Ronaldo De Silva is doing a very good job getting himself into his own territory. He's invariably the man in center ring. Those straight shots coming from Po-Wei were blocked by the gloves. He did go down to the body effectively, did 2. But then De Silva let a whole cluster of punches go, many landing on gloves and forearms. Nice left jab by Po-Wei, but then it's countered by a left hand from De Silva. And De Silva quickening his feet now, looking to close the distance, and the taller man having success to the body. Dipping his knees, planting his feet into the canvas and scoring effectively. And while on the resumption, a right hand sunk in to the left flank of Po-Wei, but it was illegal according to the perspective of our referee, Sadie Duffy. Oh, beautiful left hand from De Silva, a corkscrew shot from the left flank, just extending on an upward trajectory and jolting the head of Po-Wei backwards as though it was on a hinge. Terrific work from the man in blue. That perhaps his best, or at least most eye-catching shot of the round so far. Po-Wei continuing to look for his own left hand, and he did have success with it there, as he did with a follow-up flashing right uppercut. But then De Silva dropped down and scored to the body, right hand over the top, checks the chin of Po-Wei, caused him to blink. He's backing off, but he's keeping his stance beneath him. Bombing away with the backhand once again is De Silva, but it's off the mark. But then the follow-up fusillade to the body was right on target. Terrific work from the active hands of Ronaldo De Silva. Closing seconds of the second round, another action-packed round. Po-Wei responding effectively, but I don't think he's done enough to get himself back into the contest in terms of leveling things up, having conceded the first. But of course, that's just my perspective here ringside. What say the judges? And that's a perspective that all of them have shared. 10-9 across the board in favor of Ronaldo De Silva. Going into the third and final round, he's in a commanding position on the scorecard. Look at that for a double left jab, right hand success. Po-Wei, as evidenced during that sequence there with his straight punching, clearly knows what he's doing. But he's just not able to sustain enough success to keep De Silva at bay. So into the third and final round we go, and coming out as a southpaw is Ronaldo De Silva. The Brazilian military man, well, you can imagine, given his occupation and indeed his passion here of boxing, you combine those two things and he is going to be super fit. So one suspects that the potential 5 fights required to win gold over the course of the championships. Of course, if you're in a round of 64, it's potential 6 contests, 6 victories required to occupy a top spot on the podium. But one suspects that won't pose any problem whatsoever for Ronaldo da Silva. And he's very efficient and economical with his movement and his punch output. But while he's beyond distance, see, that just gave Po-Wei, when he's less active, that gave Po-Wei the opportunity to establish his lead hand. And so it's essential for da Silva to demonstrate his conditioning and remain in punching range to apply the pressure, because at this type of distance, Po-Wei short of the mark there. But when it's here, well, Po-Wei just looking to work behind his educated lead left hand. And perhaps da Silva electing to be less busy in this final round because he knows the position he is in on the scorecards. Looking for that corkscrew left once again, but couldn't find the range. And Po-Wei, for his part, despite the punches he's pushing out, not really finding the target with a high proportion of them. So now da Silva just perhaps looking to quicken the tempo midway through this final round. Right hand over the top, blocked by the left glove of Po-Wei. So again, da Silva continuing to stalk his man. Have to be careful that he doesn't follow him around the ring and instead cuts off the movement that Po-Wei is looking to use by moving exclusively to his left. Now he changes direction momentarily, but now it's back in a clockwise direction. Could be walking on to the backhand, just as da Silva was lining him up there to launch it, but it was just off target. Straight right hand to the body was a scoring shot from da Silva. And now looking to quicken his feet and increase the pressure, because it's beyond punching range for da Silva, who just bobbed and weaved in front of his man. And now he's looking to cut off the ring rather than following him around. He's quickened his feet considerably in the past 20 seconds or so. Lead left jab is successful 3 times in a row for Po-Wei. Da Silva looking to quicken his work once again. But it's been a good response in the final round for Po-Wei, perhaps because da Silva elected to lower his punch output. But a very good response in the final round from Po-Wei to conclude the contest. But the man acknowledging all sides of the Stark Arena here, one suspects is going to go through to the round of 16. 2 rounds insurance in the bag after 6 minutes of boxing. This man, give him credit, because he responded very well indeed. Wasn't discouraged and boxed effectively in the 3rd and final round. But I don't think he's done enough to overturn the 20 points to 18 deficit that he faced with 6 minutes in the book. Good start to the contest by Ronaldo da Silva. Strong conclusion by Po-Wei, but effectively you could say that's good bout management from the man in blue. Let's get the official verdict.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the bout number 32 in the ring A, the winner on points by unanimous decision is the boxer out of the blue corner from Brazil.
Wonderful moment for Ronaldo da Silva in his first World Championships here, the Pan Am Games quarterfinalist from Lima 2019. It progresses through to the 2nd preliminary round of the men's 51-kilogram flyweight division. That is how he did it, and he's taken all 3 rounds for all 5 scoring judges. I thought it was a very good response from the 2-time World Championship participant Po-Wei in the 3rd and final round. But not enough to take it for any of the 5 scoring judges. He loses on a unanimous points verdict as we conclude this contest with some of the action from the 3 rounds that have just transpired.